Mako. Welcome back to Who the Fook Are These Guys? How are you, Mako Shark?
Good, Matty. I'm actually very good, mate. Have a look around.
What's happened here?
We're in the war room this week, Matthew.
We haven't left Coco.
No, we're in Coco's secret
studio.
bunker. It's a secret bunker this week. Look at that wide shot. Oh, boy.
Oh, baby.
Have a look at
this. This is very like that Big Brother show where it was the After Dark. This is what this feels like.
This is all about important conversations, Matthew.
And a guest of the nature that we've got deserves a special room. We've had Coco build this room.
Important people, important conversations this week.
Who have we got?
We've got Alex Volkanovski's coach on this week.
Yes, great.
No bullshit. Joe Lopez is in. We've wanted him on since the start.
Yes.
We probably haven't asked him enough.
169 episodes.
169. That's a great number for Joe Lopez. I'll appreciate that. No, this is exciting. Master Splinter, they call him.
Yes.
Down there at Freestyle, Windang MMA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to talk to him.
I am too, Mako.
So much to talk about.
Well, there was heaps to talk about.
Heaps to talk about.
Even a little bit of Tinder, dating. Who would have thought you get come for a podcast episode with Joe Lopez and get a bit of Tinder work?
Oh, yeah, blokes apparently. We'll get to it. Joe will come out with it apparently. But blokes we're going to do a social experiment.
I like it.
Single blokes on Tinder.
Yeah.
Just a picture of them.
We're not. So
obviously
our wives just relax.
If you're a single bloke, just put a picture of your stupid own self on there for a week. How many matches?
Yeah.
If you're so fortunate to have a photo with the Volk.
Yes.
Stick that as your profile. See how many matches you get. Apparently, shitloads.
Well, he's the number one.
You've got your arm around the Volk.
Yeah.
Chicks swipe.
Yeah.
What we're hearing.
Before people swipe off, Mako Shark, I reckon without further ado, we get into it.
We get into it, actually.
Well, there's no other reason.
We want to thank
not
our
to.
special sponsors.
Oh,
Engage.
Fook 10. Couple of Volk shirts.
Jump on, get a Volk shirt, Engage, the best in the business.
Master Splinter Engage shirt happening anytime soon?
They actually should be. We'll talk to them about that. We'll get a Joe Lopez
10.
shirt. But Fook 10, 10% off all your orders. Engage, jump on. Look at these shirts, mate. Look at
colours are popping.
Wear that on Tinder. I tell you, we get some matches. Fuck.
Just put that up on Tinder. That's right.
Chicks froth that shit.
Yeah, that was very weird. I reckon that's the sign of
sick, bro. Let's get into it. Yep. Joe Lopez coming at you. We finally have him on. Master Splinter, the man behind Freestyle MMA in Windang, New South Wales. It's our man. It's Australia's favourite. It's Joe Lopez on the pod. How are you, brother?
Good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Very excited to chat to you. And obviously, Freestyle MMA, there's a new chapter coming, Mako, a new gym. We wanted to get into that, mate. We've seen some stuff on, I think, Volk and Izzy's YouTube where, it's looking like it's a massive space. Talk to us about that and I guess the exciting things that will come for your fighters and future students.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's about 1,500 square metres of floor space there. And, it's a huge car park. It's on an acre of land. We're just getting stuck into it now. Now it's we've ripped the guts out of it, and now it's just a matter of putting it back together, getting some showers and toilets in there and, putting some mats down, a bit of paint.
Obviously super exciting to the next evolution of the gym, but is there a little hint that's a little bit sad to be vacating the original? It's such an iconic building, the little church down there. We've only been there once, but even I'm a bit sad that it's going to be gone.
Yeah, it is in a way, but I think, we've sort of outgrown that place. We get so many people in there to come and train with us, not just from around the area, but just from around the world. And it's just the place is just too small, and just to the guys that are there, the team's getting bigger and they just deserve a bit more space. So, they can move around and we can bring more people into the team this way as well. Because the more guys you got, I guess the better the team, the stronger the team.
Yep. I was going to say that too. It obviously levels up everything, allows you to, bring more people in and probably offers some things that you might not have been able to in that space, maybe some recovery things and all. So it becomes a really full-rounded gym. I was a little bit disappointed to see that, the bar got ripped out though, Joe. Surely you could have kept us. If anyone was going to have a bar at the gym, it was Freestyle MMA. I was disappointed.
We'll put one outside for you.
Oh, good.
Surely.
There's a big courtyard outside.
What was the venue before for it to have a bar? Was it like an old RSL or something?
Like an old,
Yeah, it was the Portuguese social club. Okay. So, It'd been it's been there for a long time, probably 50-something years, but it started off small and they just kept adding to it and adding to it, so it's been a bit of a nightmare to work things out, with old buildings that have just,
might be
just kept adding to it.
Might be a few talented young Portuguese blokes that might just be rolling up for a feed. They might just end up in the gym and become a talent.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know.
Maybe they can come down and do some ripping out of some walls.
Yeah, working bee. We might have to come up. We'll come up. We'll rip down a few walls.
Most of it's out now.
Oh, sorry.
But like I said, they had like 2 commercial kitchens in there, so we've had to gut all them. And
he knew, Joe. That was one of those, make us look like good blokes. We'll come up and help and do some labour. He saw the video. He saw it was empty. You've done all the work.
Yeah.
So don't let him fool you.
I would have.
I hear that all the time.
So just the last one on it, mate. When are you hoping to open?
I'm probably relying more on the tradesmen now, because they make all these big promises and always under-deliver with the times, but that's my big thing. If I could get it done, in 2 weeks, it'd be done in 2 weeks, I'm ready to go. I'm just waiting on people,
Mm-hmm.
I've done my bit, ripped it out. And then again, it's a bit of, waiting on, getting mats and all that sort of stuff in.
You should be in by the end of the year at least, yeah?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I'll be very disappointed if I'm not. I'd like to get in there sooner than that, but, it'd be good to get in there before Volks' next camp, and, that'd be good. But, we'll wait and see.
We'll get into Volk and all that soon, but obviously everyone knows Volk and he's sort of the face of your gym, but it never ends down at Freestyle. There's so many blokes always fighting. We just had a young man, Kasib Murdoch, on the pod last week who just won the Hex Bantamweight title. Tell us a little about him and what you see coming from him, because he's a young man, very talented, I think 5-0 now, and he looks like he's got a big future.
Yeah, he has. He's a former world IMAF champion. He's had like 43 boxing fights. He's a very experienced fighter, especially at such a young age. And, he's so well-rounded. He's like a new Volk, He's a lot of people are saying he's the new mini Volk,
He's like a bit of a bulldog, he's very thick.
Oh, yeah. Man. He weighs as heavy as Volk most of the time, That's the problem.
How good's like, you've obviously had Volk and, he's still going, and obviously he's the champ, but then you have another guy that comes in that's like a mini Volk. You must be just so excited you get to work with a 24-year-old guy that's got some similar qualities and, and help him grow and achieve his success.
100%, and then, obviously he's working alongside Colby and the rest of the team. They all, work in well and they push each other, to get better and,
Always got to give Colby a bit of a pump up on this pod. Don't want to, go too hard on him because, he gets enough of that as it is. But how good is it to see Colby? And, he didn't get the win, obviously, in his first fight. But, mate, hell of an effort on late notice, like 7 days' notice. Held himself in a good regard. How excited are you to get that next fight for him? And, he can show the world now on a full camp and preparation what he actually can offer.
Yeah, I know he's excited and we're all excited to see him get back out there, and he's one of Colby's faults. I always thought he never believed in his striking, and I think it showed in his last fight that he can strike out there in the UFC, and I think that's given him so much more confidence, and you're going to see a better version of Colby next time you go out there. He's not going to be thinking so much about his grappling. He's just going to be striking,
The talent we were talking about, Mako Shark, that you've had it in your gym is incredible. And Australia in itself, we reckon, is just over delivers, doesn't it, for the size of us? Are you? I guess you're in. You probably wouldn't be shocked, but I mean, Australia is incredible with what we're doing compared to some of the other countries that have got so many more, athletes in the sport. We really do deliver and bat outside our crease, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if it's something in the water or the way we're training. More than likely, it's probably more the mindset of everything. that's my thing, the mindset, because we all can do the same exercises and do the same drills, but it's how you go into it mentally and how you come out of it. It plays a huge part in it.
Mindset and discipline as well, isn't it? And just that commitment.
Well, we were in Miami with Colby, and he's a young guy, and he's got opportunity he's got the world at his feet. You're in Miami, but the most disciplined bloke
didn't play up.
And then you
come to the after party. We were like, Colby, let's go. We're drinking piss, mate. And he's like, boys, I got to go to bed. I got to do this in the morning. I'm like,
he had to go to the performance.
Even I'm like, fuck off. And then I went, hang on, no, that's actually probably smart.
Well, he had his performance testing.
Yeah.
But other young men would have, you see it in the AFL, the NRL, they go, like one night, but like they don't have really one night. And even Kasib doesn't drink. He's 23 or 24. Like there's the talent, but you talk about the mental. These young men and women are so disciplined with everything they do, outside of the training, from just how they look after their bodies and don't have life's temptation. So that's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's that 1%, I guess you could say, where it might not matter if you do or you don't, but that 1%, makes you that little bit better, And
that's why Windang has as many world champs right now as the entire of the United States of America. So, proof's in the pudding, I reckon.
We do the 1% the other way. That's what makes our podcast better, mate.
Yeah. Our job is to drink the piss, you see.
We do it for them.
But it's funny, I did a podcast with Aljamain and one of Donnie from Bali MMA, who runs CF, the Canggu Fight Nights.
Yeah.
And they were all John Jones's ex-training partners. They all started together back in the day.
Yeah.
And, what they were saying is John Jones, before he'd fight, he'd just get on it,
He's the anomaly, isn't he?
Well, yeah, but I know some other guys, I'm not going to name them, that do that as well. And it came back, when we were discussing, Teddy Atlas said that a lot of the times that these guys use as an excuse that if they lose, that, hey, I was out drinking that night, that's why I lost, but they don't lose. But I think it's just a fallback, mentally, Again, it goes back to your mind, and that's what makes these guys, do what they do, because, they don't want to lose that bad that they want to have an excuse in the back of their head in case they do.
He's already building excuses now by you see him tweet or whatever he's saying, I haven't trained for like a year. That's probably not true, but he puts it out there, and if he does fight Aspinall and lose, he can go, well, I wasn't, so he's already giving himself that mental out before he's even taken the fight. And it's strange of a guy of his ability to be so bad in the mental side of things. He seems mentally weak, but he's so good. Weird, He's just so talented.
He's so good. Yeah, exactly.
Imagine he had the mental side as well.
It's like Gary Ablett Sr., and I don't know if you know much about AFL, but there's Gary Ablett Sr., one of the greatest of all time in the 90s, one of the loosest men that's ever lived, they reckon. Like, just didn't give a fuck about anything, but would go out there and literally sit on people's heads, and the greatest player I've ever seen. And then people wonder, imagine he was dialed in and gave a fuck. Could he have been even better? Like, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy, mate.
Yeah, you just don't know.
One man that was dialed in, Mako, we've got him on our shirt.
We don't mind him.
He dialed in that extra 1%. Geez, you could tell, Joe, in that last fight against, and I guess you obviously knew that was coming, but I think there were still people out there that, were a bit sort of, is he?
Is he out there?
And then he came out and almost a career best performance for the entirety of that fight and did that 1% extra to get that performance out of him. Like, that must have been amazing to be a part of that and obviously see him do it, knowing he could do it, and sort of prove some people wrong.
Yeah, 100%, and if anybody deserved it, and I knew that he could do it, was Volk. He's an incredible athlete. Mentally he's very, very strong and determined. So if he sets his mind on something, he really goes out to get it. And it's easy said, but it's harder done, I think. And he's one person that can do it. Yeah.
What were your thoughts during the camp? Did you ever have, obviously you're not going to say yeah or no probably, but did you have any doubts that he could come back from that Topuria loss, and like the questions about the age, he's 36, whatever, and is he maybe he'll never get back to it?
I had never had a doubt. Yeah. Never had a doubt. He just, he had a little bit of a bad run, and if he didn't have that bad run and take the Islam fight and whatever, things might have, like that sliding door,
Yes.
Thing you can say. But it was we took the chance. It happened, and we had to move on. And I knew once Volk's mind and his head was right, he'd come back. Because that's the person he is.
Yeah. You have that sliding doors moment. Obviously, those 2 fights, it didn't go your way, and then the whole world jumps off. But you just take it one step back, the Yair fight, and then one step back again, the first Islam fight. I don't reckon anyone's ever fought better than Volk in those 2 fights. Like, he's the best we've ever seen. And then everyone's trying to write him off 6 months later.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. People, if that didn't happen, Volk, he was untouchable. He was, pound for pound, the best fighter. It's just the fighting world is so fickle. After the second Max fight, where it was a close one and everyone was in the Volk and everyone was doubting him, and he came back in the third and bashed him, and then everyone was going, "Oh, Volk's the GOAT." There's no one better. And that's, I've seen it happen with Izzy. The same thing with the Romero fight. Everyone was calling him a bum, that, because
boring.
Nothing much happened. And then the next fight, I think he came out against Pablo Costa and bashed Pablo, and everyone's going, "Wow, Izzy's the best thing. He can beat anyone in the world." That's just
what have you done for me lately? This sport, isn't it? It's fucking horrific.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I might be wrong and off the mark, but I actually think the 2 losses and the resilience shown to then come back and win and re-win I actually think that's better for the total story and to be, because sometimes when people lose, they react differently and can't ever get back to it. But he lost twice and then came back and almost had his best performance ever. And I think that actually shows the mark of the man and the courage and the determination, everything that you guys and the team work, and that sort of is the reward for that. So I think that at the end of the day, when he's retired and he sits back, I think he'll be probably proud that he was able to show that resilience and not just go through always bashing everyone, because then there'd be questions, what if he was so I think that's, for a total package of his career, I think that's actually a really positive part of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, losses are never good, but like I always say, it's not how good you can handle your wins, it's how good you can handle your losses, and he just showed how you handle your losses, you go back, you work on it, and you come back and you win, you don't go into, like a lot of these fighters, they get into a spiral where they just can't win, they just keep going,
When they,
I knew Volk was always going to win, the Topuria fight, I thought, I don't know, it was, I don't think he was ready after, I didn't see it, but I think he was a little bit gun shy or something after, the Islam, because the Islam fight upset him more than the Topuria knockout, and I was the opposite, because honestly, I went in there thinking, we went in there because they gave us, a great deal, and we were, we discussed it, and it was, and it was a gamble. If we won, we would have been the greatest of ever. If we lose, Alex is set up for life, and that was the mentality that we went in there with, and it didn't work out our way, but, it still worked out our way.
From what he said to us when we had him on, and I've heard him on other pods as well, it's mainly his disappointment came from his preparation before it, wasn't it? Like, he feels like maybe he took his eyes off the ball a little bit in those sort of few months post-Yair fight. Is that what I think upset him mainly? Like, not that he lost the fight at all, but that he didn't give himself the best opportunity when he was in the cage?
Yeah, but it was just like the perfect storm, After the Yair fight, he went and got surgery. He got surgery. We were trying to get a fight. They said there's no fights. His daughter was going to be born. I just said there's nothing going on for the rest of the year, mate. Go and have a holiday, You've never had one, go and have one.
Exactly.
And he went and had a holiday, and I think that's what he was disappointed in.
He's guilty that he let himself have time off.
Well, some time off, which God, you shouldn't feel guilty. But I guess that Alex puts so much pressure on himself being who he is that he thinks he should have been ready all the time. But, we never thought we were going to be fighting,
Yeah.
We'd asked for a fight. And I said for the rehab, for everything, it's just better. Give your body a rest, enjoy your family. He went on a holiday. I mean, I think he went on a couple, and yeah, so he should.
Once it's all said and done, once they write that movie about the little nuggety rugby player that went and conquered the world, that part of the movie will be unreal. Like the deep, dark depression and then the rise back up again in Miami to win that belt. As you said, not a good thing, but in the end, it's actually quite a blessing, I reckon.
Yeah.
And look, we can't not ask Joe about what's next because we're hearing things and seeing things. Yeah, it's kind of is a bit similar.
Got a baby due. We're hearing there's no. What's going on, Joe? Can you give us the scoop, mate? We're hearing dog shit about your ears.
We're not big scoop guys, Mick. So we
don't like scoops. We don't dig for scoops. No, but if you've got one, we'll take it.
Well, I don't look at social media, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Smart.
That's very good. We do good stuff, Joe. Good stuff.
So you'll have to sort of enlighten me on what you're
talking about.
Oh well, yeah. Well, obviously, Yair is apparently what they're aiming at the rematch. Volk Yair is happening obviously in September. There's a baby girl due, so it might not be happening in September. Now there's no pay per view in September. What's going on?
That definitely won't, and I don't think it's. I mean, the baby was one thing, but I think if Volk being Volk, if they pushed him enough and he could. No, I think Emma would never forgive him, but
he's a company man first.
But at the moment, Volk's eye's still not right. So he's out for a while. He's, like I said, the last two rounds of the Diego fight, I think the fourth round he lost vision, and
he said that
he got it back a little bit in the fifth. But it's still not right, and he can. They want him to train. What do you call it? He can train full on wrestling and everything, but he still can't spar or have any head contact for a while yet. They've got to run a few more tests to see what's going on with his eyes. So till that's not going to give us enough time to do any of that. So September's definitely out for Volk. Although I know he wanted it, but it's not going to happen. And and again, I wasn't real happy when they were saying Mexico, and then I'll go
exactly.
And look, I really like Yair. I think he's a great fighter, but we've already we've beat him and fought him,
It wasn't close. And there's no fans out there clamoring to see it. There's no public demand. Like, is it hard, if that's what the fight is, would it be hard to actually get yourselves motivated for that? Even though obviously you will, but it would be hard, wouldn't it? Like, when there's just other options?
Well 100%. To me, it's, I think they just promised the Bulldog Yair, whoever won that fight was going to fight for the title, and that's why that happened. To me, the guy that makes most sense, and I know nobody likes him, but Mozart is the guy. He's unbeaten. It'd be great for Alex's legacy, and more than anything, the guy just deserves it, man. To me, he reminds me of Marab or someone like that. They don't want the guy to be a champion, so they just keep stringing them along till hopefully somebody beats him, and to me anyway, that's my thoughts, and we've discussed it with the team, and we think the same. The guy deserves it. More than anything, he deserves it.
100% he does, and it's confusing at times what the UFC.
They don't pivot. They don't really pivot well. They have an idea in their head, and they really try and force feed that. They need to learn to sometimes actually,
No, it's weird. Yeah, it just, I don't know.
Because I would suggest the buy rate would be better for that Mosvar fight than
100% it would, I just don't think there's any demand at all for a Yair rematch, and it would be disappointing. I'm not sure if Mosvar has that fight booked. I've read that he's supposed to be fighting Aaron Pico or something. I'm not 100% if that's actually confirmed or not.
I'm pretty sure they're all booked, those fights. The whole lot of them are. The other one that was there, I can't remember the other one that was a possibility is booked as well. So, Lopez is fighting somebody.
That's not confirmed either. think that was the rumor that was coming out, but he was calling out Yair today, I saw as well. So he doesn't have a fight.
To me, that would make the perfect sense fight.
In September on the Noche card. I don't know how that's just not already locked in, to be honest.
It's bizarre, really.
Yeah.
Well, look, if he needs a little bit more time, Volk, what we said a while ago, it'd be great if Topuria goes up and beats.
He'll beat Charles in a few weeks, I reckon.
And then if Volk's needing a little bit more time with the eye, then he just have Volk fight him to get that belt. There you go.
The lightweight.
Is that something that's on the agenda one day? Like, say Volk defends his title one more time and Topuria wins. I reckon that's the perfect end of the movie.
It possibly would be, yes.
That sounds like that's what they want right there. He's saying no more.
We always want that one back.
We fucking do. And I've said that doesn't matter where in the world we're going. We're there. I put a flag in the sand. We go to that fight. And even if it's on the moon, we're going.
Well, I can imagine for you, Joe, as well, it wouldn't just be with Volk, with any of your fighters and, your students you have under your sort of tutelage. If they have a loss, you as a coach would want to get that back for anyone at any level, I imagine. So, of course, you want to get the Topuria one back.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think I'm not going to say it was luck. It was more that it was just bad timing on Volk's part, you know what I mean? At any other time, I think Volk would have just played with him, but I don't think Volk's mind was right at that stage, That's my thoughts anyway,
I agree with that. And obviously, again, you might not admit it, in the back of your mind in the Lopez fight, I think we all knew Volk is a much better fighter than Lopez. The only question was, is his chin going to be able to handle like a punch, yeah? And when he did cop that punch in the second round, we all collectively shit our pants in the crowd, I'll be honest. Still smells in Miami because we all shit.
Well, Joe's son was sat next to you. So
Taj was next to us. We all fucking panicked, but mate, Volk got back up. Yeah. I think even himself, he probably went, fuck, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm good. Let's go. Was that like a big moment when you all went, all right, fuck, yes, he's back?
I guess, I think everybody thinks that, you know what I mean? If you didn't, you're not...
just only human.
You're not human, and, it was a relief when he got back up and he was still Volk and still went in there and went press forward, which I guess I knew he could do, and I think he knew he could do it as well, He's just, he got caught twice badly, and... You can become gun shy, I guess, and get scared to be hit again,
Sometimes then your chin just doesn't come back. Like it can be out of your hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. But once you cop that first good hit and you're okay, I guess sometimes that even gives you more fire to come forward and fight harder. Yep.
Gave us more fire in the stands.
Yeah. And, like I always say, any guy in the top 10, any guy in that top 5, they're all killers, They're all tough. They've all done their time to get there. And, you can't say that none of them are not good, They're the best in the world.
Yeah.
Well, Mako, I'll tell you who is good. We were sat next to his son, Taj. He's a good punter. He wasn't punting because he's 15, but he was predicting.
He's
the first 3 or 4 fights,
he's almost clairvoyant when it comes to fighting your young man.
We said to your wife, Kelly, can we get him on with us and get him to do our bets? Because
telling us this is going to happen, knock out that third rounder. He's I reckon the first 3 fights he nailed. He just knew what was happening and it all just unfolded.
He's
got an eye for it.
He's very good. He's very good at reading fights, and he's got like he can just retain stats. So I give up now. At first I used to go, no, because I was there at those fights and I remember this. And he's going, no, Dad, you're wrong. He'd pull it up. God, I was wrong. I was there, but I swear that guy won. But he's just got this ability to, and he does it with everyone. At first, people, they're the same as me, that you got this idea that this fight went this way, but he just remembers them all. He's just got a photogenic memory for fights.
Yep.
How cool for him, though, getting to travel the world with you and do that at like the age he is, and then you go back into school. Like, what did you do on the weekend? I went with Dad and...
was just in Miami, went to the fights, saw the Volk win.
Incredible experience for the young man.
Yeah, he looks like he enjoys it.
Yeah, he loves it all, but he's pretty shy at school. He doesn't like letting anybody know that who he is or what he does.
Trying to get him on the pod, and he's very nope, not happening.
I've been telling him like from an early age, like even 11 and 12. I bought it because he didn't like reading, and the first book he ever read was the UFC Encyclopedia, and that's all he'd read. And every morning he would come down and just hit me with 10 questions about the UFC. And, oh, man, it was doing my head in, but at least he was reading, you know?
Yes.
But he was just taking in all that knowledge, you know? He just, when he got into basketball, it was the same. He started basketball, and we went to America, and I remember just getting into an Uber, and we were just talking, and starts talking to the cabbie about basketball, and they're going the dream teams, and he's like 11 or 12, and he's just
rattling
talking like going. I'm going, where do you know all this stuff? He goes, I just look it up, and he's just got like an incredible
knowledge
for that kind of. He's hopeless at school, but
you know what? They fuck school, I reckon. Like, don't let that bog him down, though. Like, kids like that, school will tell him that you're failing this, you're failing that, but he's not failing anything. He's doing what he wants, and he knows what he wants. I reckon there's too much pressure on kids, I reckon, at school sometimes. School's a bit of a work.
Yeah, I know. And I was never good at school, so I don't really push him, but you know, he's got to go there and he's got to do the time, you know. And
he'll get out of school. And
it's a great lesson you've said for all kids. Fuck school.
No, but if you've got this drive and passion and focus on things that he's obviously good at, you don't want to let the school system fucking kick that out of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I just want to get him on your podcast so you just can do, you know, some some good breakdowns and analysis on all the fights.
Keep chipping away at him.
Some would suggest we need someone with a bit of knowledge and someone that can actually break it down correctly. So he'd be well welcome here, wouldn't he, Mako? We've told him he's any time he wants to come on, he can come on. He's got the golden ticket.
He does, mate.
Yeah, I know. The hard part is getting him on.
We'll keep pushing him.
Before we wrap it up, Joe, I got one other question I want to ask you. Volk, I remember during the fight week in Miami, he mentioned that he was so dialed into his own experience of what he's been going through. He didn't quite realise how much it means to everyone else, like in the country and people around him. Not just him going out there and achieving what he did, but it's actually everyone feels a part of it. And obviously yourself being so close the whole journey, for you to sit back a little bit and just see what he's done and what it means to other people, like two blokes here and millions around Australia. What does it mean to you that you've been such a part of such a journey?
I guess I don't even, I still think that I'm me, and I don't really think, and Volk is very similar to me, that we don't realise the fuss and the thing around us, you know, because we haven't changed, you know, we're still the same people we've always been. Some people change and that, but I don't think personally Volk and I have, Volk's changed a little bit. He's gone a 7-star, but but realistically, sometimes it's a little bit surreal that it's happened, you know, and people stop you and want to get photos and all that, and it's. But for me, I'm still me. I don't think I'm any better or any worse. I'm just still the same person I've always been.
Yeah, and that's why I think everyone loves you, and why people like us can feel like we're at home when we talk to you people and come to the gym, because you haven't changed. Just good, ordinary Aussies, I reckon. That's what I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, you were getting in trouble from Joe. Well, at the gym, you were getting in trouble at home from your parents. It didn't feel any different, did it?
Take your fucking shoes off.
I love telling people off. Don't get me wrong. The gym is my playground where I can abuse people and get away with it. You know what blows me out more than anything is, and I don't know if you guys know this as a fact, that more guys use themselves and Volk on their Tinder profiles than any other bloke.
Pictures with Volk, you mean? Or?
Yes. Yeah, like you got your Tinder photos. Everyone's got themselves with a picture with Volk.
That'll get you hits, I reckon. That'll get you hits. Yeah, like chicks would froth.
It's like it's a fact. You know what I mean? Like,
how good is it a fact?
I think it was in my.
I said, how good is it's actually a fact?
It came up in Miami. We had a talk, and they were going, some girls and that came over and they were talking about it. It might have been, it was somewhere anyway. And the girls were coming over and they were telling us about that. How many guys use Volk and themselves as their profile picture on Tinder, you know?
Unbelievable. That would give you a guaranteed match. If I'm a chick and I see a bloke with Volk, I'm swiping yes. That tip.
Well, Coco's single. We need to get Coco a photo with Volk, and then we're going to set his profile, our producer, and see if it actually works.
Let's do an experiment. Why don't we do an experiment where we do 1 week without Volk and 1 week with Volk and see how your fucking numbers come up. Let's see if your numbers come up.
I like this social experiment. This is good stuff.
Yeah. Mate, it's got to happen, you know? Let's see if Volk has got that much power.
He's got pull,
that he
mate.
Can pull other women, girls. He can pull other guys, girls.
Mate, he can pull guys. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I know he can. He's half Greek.
We love it, mate. We love it. We can't thank you enough for coming on, mate. It's been a pleasure.
No, thanks for having me on, guys. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys.
And we'll keep getting your boy. We'll get him on, and that'd be great.
Yeah,
like I said, he'd be well welcomed here because we sometimes need someone to straighten us up, make it sharp with some actual facts, not things we just pull out. So, I appreciate your time, mate. Thank you.
No, thanks for having me on, boys. Appreciate it.
On you, mate.
Who the fuck is that guy?